Hi, and welcome to the Hayes Free Press News Minute. I'm Andy Sevilla. We begin our broadcast with Kyle Political News. With early voting finished, candidates for the District 3 seat now are focusing on June 1st, the election day for the runoff race between Joe Bacon and Chad Benninghoff. Both candidates have spent most of their money on advertising alone leading up to the runoff race, according to their latest campaign finance reports, which were due last Friday. All told, Joe Bacon has spent a total of $3,062.62 since February in his bid for a seat on the Kyle City Council. Meanwhile, Chad Benninghoff has spent a total of $1,296.19 in his efforts to win the race. In the May 11th election, only 26 votes separated Benninghoff and Bacon. Both candidates pulled over 40% support, but both fell short of clinching a victory. To win, a candidate must receive a majority vote, which is 50% of the vote plus one vote. A third candidate in the race, Bill Siner, took in just under 12% of that vote, knocking him out of the running in the runoff. Kyle council members also sat down with the Hays County Emergency Service District Number 5 earlier this month to discuss a potential agreement on sharing sales taxes collected in unincorporated areas of the city. ESD 5 commissioners are interested in pursuing a sales and use tax election for residents within their boundaries in an effort to help fund the operations of the department. The ESD found themselves in a severe budget crunch earlier this year, but with a new fire chief and some belt tightening, the board will have enough money to make it through the current fiscal year. Though the situation is less dire, the ESD is interested in collecting a 1.5-cent sales tax on businesses outside of the city, but within Kyle's extraterritorial jurisdiction. State law, however, says that whomever collects the tax first keeps it, which could ultimately landlock Kyle. Acting amicably, the ESD wants to include Kyle in discussions of potential future revenue sharing, perhaps much like the ESD number 8 did with Buda. In that case, which voters approved in May, ESD 8 will collect sales taxes in unincorporated areas of Buda, but when the city decides to annex those areas, the sales tax will then be divided 3 ways, with 0.5 cent going to the ESD, to the city, and to the city's Economic Development Corporation. In Kyle, council members and ESD 5 commissioners agreed on assessing their own situation and discussing a potential agreement for this summer. ESD 5 could call for the sales tax election as early as November. And on the heels of a tragic disaster in Moore, Oklahoma, where a tornado devastated the town and left 24 dead, we examined Kyle and Buda's emergency management plans. Both cities have plans in place that would address natural disasters, much like what happened in Oklahoma, or in cases of flooding and wildfires. Now, to read on the emergency response for each city and for all the news that's important to you, be sure to pick up a copy of this week's Hays Free Press or read us online at www.haysfreepress.com. You can also like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. For your News Minute, I'm Andy Sevilla.